Welcome to Study Loop.
This is the answer to Chapter 22, problem number 4 from the Smith Organic Chemistry textbook. And this problem is just asking us to name 6 molecules that we've been given with either IUPAC or common names. And so these are all carbonyl derivatives, and there are some different rules and naming conventions depending on which derivative of carboxylic acid we're talking about. And so A is an acyl chloride, so the name is going to end in chloride. And we're going to name it by its longest chain, which I've numbered here with the carbonyl carbon as carbon 1. And then the longest chain that you can make from that is 4, so butanoyl chloride. And so at the 2 carbon, there's also an ethyl group branching off. So when you put that all together, we call it 2-ethyl butanoyl chloride. B is an ester, and it's pretty straightforward. So we're going to name it, the base name is benzoate. And then before benzoate, we will put the alkyl group that's on the oxygen of the ester. So in this case, it's a methyl group. So B is methyl benzoate. For C, we're talking about an amide. And so the name is going to end in amide. That's how amides are named. We will also look at what is the chain that's attached to the amide. So starting at the carbonyl carbon, we have 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be a propanamide or propanamide. And then we also need to name the 2 substituents on the nitrogen in the amide. And so we use the designation N to mean that it's a substituent on the nitrogen. So we have an ethyl group and a methyl group on this nitrogen, and we'll list them alphabetically, ethyl before methyl. And so this molecule becomes N-ethyl, N-methyl propanamide. For D, we have a formate derivative. So similar to an ester, but there's no other carbons attached to the carbonyl carbon. And so, whereas an ester, we would name it O8 based on whatever was attached to the carbonyl carbon. For this, when there's nothing attached, it's formate. And then again, we just start with the alkyl substituent on the oxygen of the ester. And so this becomes ethyl formate. For E, we have an anhydride, which remember is a condensation of 2 carbonyls, essentially. And so we'll just name them with oic for the carbons attached to either carbonyl. And again, we'll list them in alphabetical order. So we have a benzene on the one side and a propane group on the other. And so this becomes benzoic, propanoic, anhydride. Lastly, for F, we have a nitrile. And so the name is going to end in nitrile. We're also going to base the name on the longest chain. Here it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon chain as numbered. And so it will be a hexane nitrile. And then again, we need to just account for the other branch. So it's coming from carbon 3. It's an ethyl group. And so this molecule becomes 3-ethyl hexane nitrile. And that is the answer to chapter 22, problem